Now I want to talk to you about Air Noland. He's the number 10 ranked QB in the country, the 111th best player overall out of Fairborn, Georgia, Langston Hughes High School. Air Noland is set to make his decision Saturday, April 8th, so just about 48 hours from now. And Sam, we talked about Air Noland last week. We talked about him on Monday, and you know what? We're going to talk about him one last time before he makes his big announcement. So let's recap what's happened in the last 7 days, right? He took a visit to Texas A&M on Friday. He took a visit to Ohio State on Saturday. And then on Monday, he was actually at Alabama. I'll start with you, Sam. What did we learn this week?
We learned that these visits have been planned accordingly, I think, in sequence with his timeline. We've talked about Miami and Clemson as being contenders. He's already been to those schools, and intel showed us that Miami was there, certainly in the mix. Now we're hearing about Ohio State and Texas A&M having some momentum with Air Noland as the decision gets closer. It's not like they just started recruiting him because he visited. They've been recruiting him, and now for Air, it's a chance to put the conversations as he's had with those coaches to the test, meet with them in person, see how he fits in their offensive game plans. You'll have to know Brian Hartline is a new OC in Ohio State. Ryan Day had not offered many quarterbacks, and Dylan Raiola decommitted. And then for Texas A&M, it's a whole new offensive coordinator in Bobby Petrino, and we said it. Anthony Maddox is committed, but we know that they are going for two quarterbacks to fit this style of offense that they're introducing in College Station, and who fits it better than Air Noland? So now, as the decision gets close, it seems that momentum has shifted from a Miami-Clemson battle to Miami, Texas A&M, or Ohio State, depending on who you talk to.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. I learned that as well this week. It seemed like you said Clemson and Miami the last time we talked last week, but this week, kind of those two teams have kind of fallen off that top tier. Well, maybe not Miami. I'd still put Miami up there as a threat. I think Clemson has kind of fallen out of this race. We'll see what happens. But the other thing that I learned, and we talked about this on Monday, was Alabama's role in Air Noland's recruitment. And what I kind of took away from his Alabama trip was more or less that, yes, they're recruiting him. Yes, they've offered him. Yes, they would take him if he wanted to commit there. But from what he said in his relationship with Tommy Rees, it just doesn't seem like they're all that active with him right now. So I'm not exactly going to put Alabama in that top tier either. Actually, Sam, I don't know if you saw, but I found out this week that I can make predictions on the recruiting prediction machine. And I put in my first one last night. Did you see it?
Oh, I saw it.
So for those that don't know or don't follow me on Twitter, I put in a pick for Air Noland to Ohio State. Kind of connecting the dots here, got a little inside intel as well, but Air Noland has not informed any team yet. He hasn't made his final decision, but I'm sitting here, as of today, predicting him to Ohio State. Sam, what's your prediction?
Yeah, I don't have the ammo enough to put in that pick, but we have talked about this at length. Ohio State is calculated with how they recruit quarterbacks, and Ryan Day, Coach Dennis, and Brian Hartline have been recruiting Air Noland for several months at this point. That visit to Ohio State was scheduled, and I think they knocked it out of the park, and all signs point to Ohio State being the team in pole position after that visit. Now, of course, that Texas A&M visit convoluted the picture a little bit, and we know that Miami isn't going anywhere. Both teams have zeroed in on Air Noland, but based on what you said, putting the pieces together and with the intel coming out of Columbus in that weekend visit, it seems like everything is aligned for the Buckeyes to kind of go on a run recruiting, and that includes getting their quarterback for the 2024 class.
Yeah, and it really does kind of line up, right? Like Ohio State, about 10 days ago, they landed 2 offensive tackles. Then they landed their running back, and then they had another 5-star receiver. And the storyline should go on to Saturday. They land their quarterback, but we'll see. All right, Sam, we'll all be paying attention to this big Air Noland decision on April 8th. Thanks for stopping by the Inside Scoop. Thank you for watching. Make sure you smash that subscribe button for me. And remember to check out all the videos on the On3 YouTube page.